Welcome back. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, including my own Odester. Happy Mother's Day. I know that you're watching. Plenty of warm weather and just the right amount of rain has created a bummer crop of strawberries this year. And whether you plan to pick your own or buy what someone else has harvested, Gieringer Farm in Edgerton is as fresh as it gets. That's where we find Fox 4's Carrie Wickersham this morning. Carrie, what you got for us?
Hey, we're going to go back to the strawberry patch in just a second, but I had to show you the peaches, because the peaches had a bit of a rough winter. They're finicky. Talk about the peaches. They almost all froze their buds off, didn't they?
Yeah, froze their buds off. That's correct. So yes, we had a really warm late winter, and things tried to wake up. So we had two freeze events on these that were damaging. So one, we got to 10 degrees when they were in a swollen pink bud. They were still closed, and they could take probably 20 at that, but they can't take 10. So we lost a significant amount through that. And then we had
show us the like what you lost and what you didn't.
Yeah. So you can see some of these smaller fruit that didn't mature.
Hopefully you can see that. Hold it in your hand.
Oh, okay.
I almost caught one.
Some of these are still on the tree.
So can you see that? They're just the little tiny buds right there.
Yeah.
And then you can see the other ones made it.
Correct. Yeah, they should be, that's not quite chicken egg size, but it's fairly good size.
Yeah.
So this is perfectly viable. This is going to be a good peach. And the nice thing about peaches is they set way more flowers than they can support fruit. So we would normally have to come out here and thin these by hand. I guess Mother Nature thinned some of those forests this year. So
okay, so picture this. Farmer Frank, he's the commander-in-chief of 12 acres of peaches out here. And they are in trouble, folks, because it's getting very cold. And so what do? You call in the special forces.
Yes, special forces. So we called in a helicopter.
Yeah.
So we like to tell people it's not necessarily that there's warm air, but it's less cold air. So we had a temperature inversion when it got down to the mid-20s, and we had open fruits, some small set fruit. So what the helicopter does is they fly above the orchard, and where he flew at 60 foot, it was 40 degrees.
Yeah.
And it was 25 down here about waist level.
Yeah.
So there's quite a difference. So they blew the 40-degree air down. They hovered over the entire orchard from about 1:45 till 7:30 in the morning. So probably, 6 hours roughly?
We have some beautiful pictures. I hope you're showing those pictures right now of the helicopters hovering. But calling in special forces with no taxpayer money is pretty expensive, isn't it?
Yes, it can get very expensive.
Yes. But you got to save the baby peaches.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you have a very valuable crop here, more so than a corn or soybean crop. You have a really high value crop.
Yeah.
And typically Kansas is kind of risky anyway, but this is just one thing that we can do to alleviate some of that.
I have never heard of that. You call in the helicopters, and they have these. Okay, a lot of the helicopter pilots, by the way, down here are Army veterans, so they're all about saving things. They come in here, they've got these temperature gauges.
Correct.
And so they can fly right where the warmer temperatures are to kind of kick them down onto the tree.
Yeah, the machine that we had and our pilot, he had an onboard thermometer, so when he'd start out, he would start like basically treetop, and then he'd go up, like 10, maybe 10 foot, 20 foot at a time, and then find that warmest layer. And so it stayed really effective. We could keep these trees, actually we were keeping it in the 34-degree range for quite some time. Then right about sunlight, you always get a dip in temperature.
So this was a middle of the night rescue, by the way.
Right.
They were out here all night long.
Right, from about 2 a.m. till, and then about 6, right as the sun was coming up, the temperatures dipped. So we actually, he didn't have that warm of air to work with. So we saw the temperatures in the tree level get that 29, 30-ish degree, which is still okay for a peach, especially if they're not there very long. And then by 7:30, the sun was out and the frost was gone, and we were good.
Oh my gosh. You guys, we're always discovering something new. The exclusive story of the great peach rescue here at Garinger's Orchard that happened, just a few months ago. And now the peaches are ready for you, and you would have never known if you hadn't heard it. But the links these farmers go to, obviously, we're running out of time, but they're covering crops. They're covering strawberries with tarps. It's a big deal to get this fruit ready for you to pick. Of course, Mother's Day, moms are going to pick free today. You got to pay for the berries, but no picking charge free out here. There's plenty of strawberries. And for our last hit, we're going to go back out and show you the strawberries, what you're waiting for. Okay, only those exclusive interviews here. Great peach rescue. Back to you guys.
Good deal. Thank you, Carrie.